Hey guys, how's it going? In today's video, I'm going to be talking to you about some game development stuff. Now, I don't really talk about this much apart from Rise of Phoenix 4, and Rise of Phoenix 4 has been the main centre of attention, I suppose, on this channel recently. And I haven't really talked about nothing else apart from Rise of Phoenix. So, I'm still going to talk about Rise of Phoenix, don't worry about that, just for those who really love Rise of Phoenix. But, there are a hell of a lot of cancelled projects which I started and never came to fruition. Now, I've been doing game development now for 2 years, since summer 2013. That's when I first started with Rise of Phoenix 1. So, there's quite a lot of titles that you should know about, and who knows, maybe these titles will come to light again one day. But the first one I want to talk about, now originally I was going to do a whole video on this, but instead I will be talking to you about multiple other projects as well. But that is the game which I started creating called Crystal Call, or Crystal's Call. Now, not a lot of people know about this game, but it was actually announced. It was announced on my Facebook page, which is still up. I don't know where it is. It must be like 2013. Like, it's really far down the timeline. But shut up, iPad. Basically, this game started development. It actually did. It started development about a month after Rise of Phoenix 1, while Rise of Phoenix 1 was still in development. And basically, to put it in hindsight, it was really troublesome, and I really struggled developing two games at the same time. I kind of threw myself overboard a bit. But what Crystal Call was about, it was a game that was supposed to mirror Rise of Phoenix. It was supposed to be kind of set in an alternate universe, but the same kind of situations happened to the characters as in Rise of Phoenix 1. But it's just like mirrors, so it's different characters, different scenarios, but the same kind of scenarios, if you get what I mean. It was a 2D platformer. No big surprise there, I haven't made anything other than that. But there were going to be a few new elements in it. I wanted to have a battle system in it. Like, Rise of Phoenix has got a battle system now. But what I mean by battle system, I meant something like a Pokemon kind of esque thing. So, like, you use these crystals and you can call these crystal beasts. Oh my god, this is sounding like freaking Yu-Gi-Oh! And Final Fantasy right now. Yeah, it's pretty clear to see what Crystal Call is inspired from. But it was going to be, you can choose these monsters to kind of come with you and they'd help you, etc, etc. But then I didn't know how far ahead I was pushing myself there. And I was pushing myself quite far ahead. And it was just too much for me. So, yeah, that was Crystal Call. Now, this is a game I would love to revisit. This might even be a title that could come out in the future. So, you might want to keep an eye out for that. Because if I ever do think about doing that again, it will be spectacular. But you never know. You never know with me. I could end up doing it again. And I'm kind of hoping I do, because it was such a cool concept. But it wasn't possible in that horrible, horrible Game Engine stencil. But now I'm kind of learning Unity. Who knows? It could one day become a reality again, and hopefully it does. So let me know in the comments, maybe if you would like to see a project like this maybe come up in the future, because I'd definitely work on it. Now, the next project I want to talk about, which got cancelled, and I never actually said it was cancelled, and that is Rise of Phoenix Go. Now, this is an interesting one. Rise of Phoenix Go is, or was, an Android version of Rise of Phoenix, duh. That's why it has the Go in the name. It was a completely original game, believe it or not. Well, actually, it was kind of a remixed version of Episode 1. This got into the planning stages, but because of the stencil limitations, I wasn't able to publish it on Android. Some of it was made, but overall, I had to kind of just chuck it all out. It's a shame. But then it isn't a shame, because eventually Rise of Phoenix Go was cancelled, but then I announced Rise of Phoenix Warzone. Yeah, Rise of Phoenix Warzone. What is Rise of Phoenix Warzone? It was supposed to be the origin story of Rise of Phoenix and was supposed to come out on Android. For some reason, even though I was having troubles with Rise of Phoenix Go, I thought, you know what, screw it, let's make like another Android game, which probably wouldn't work out as well. And it didn't. It didn't work out, literally because I didn't have the knowledge to create an Android game, and then what was the other thing? The other issue, and plus I couldn't publish it on Android. So there was many factors there. But Rise of Phoenix Warzone turned into Rise of Phoenix Zero Forbidden Trinity. Now this is a kind of a sad game, which I regret cancelling it. It is Rise of Phoenix Warzone, but it's kind of different. It's still an origin story, but it's just for your standard Flash platform, where like all the other Rise of Phoenix games are on. So what happened with this? It actually got started into development. I actually started making it. The game was to feature 3 main protagonists: George, Nexus, who is already in the game, and this other guy called Lunctus. Now, Lunctus is still going to be in Rise of Phoenix 4, because this game was supposed to play a pivotal part in it. But I had to cancel it because it was taking too much time and resources out of, because I wanted to develop Rise of Phoenix 4. And I've got a set timetable for Rise of Phoenix 4, and kind of that game was really interfering with it. And plus, the overall popularity of Rise of Phoenix isn't that high, so overall, I didn't see the benefit of putting another couple months into this brand new game where only a few people are going to play it. But you never know, it could make a comeback in Rise of Phoenix 4. Yeah, how can a game make a comeback inside of a game? You'll have to wait and see on that. Then there was Rise of Phoenix Terminal. Now, I've not actually confirmed whether this is cancelled, because I can't really say if it is cancelled, but it is cancelled. I'm not really making much sense. Rise of Phoenix Terminal was yet again another attempt at an Android Rise of Phoenix, and it was made in this completely different game engine, and I've still got it installed, and maybe I'll revisit it, but at the moment it's looking all good for Rise of Phoenix 4 to be coming to Android because of Unity, so it may happen, it may not. But at this point, Rise of Phoenix Terminal was looking cancelled. But what it was about, it was a recoded, inspired game where basically you play a digital version of George, and your phone has got a virus, which is inspired by the main storyline of Rise of Phoenix. So, like, I employed like all this technology stuff into the main story, blah blah blah. It's really confusing. I never really got around to finalising the story. But yeah, that's that game. That's pretty much all the Rise of Phoenix cancelled projects, apart from one more, which was called Rise of Phoenix Warriors. Now, this was a weird game. Rise of Phoenix Warriors was an RPG which I started making, and it didn't go well, and I didn't see the benefit in it. But it was supposed to be a kind of sequel to Rise of Phoenix 3 before 4. But it just, I like the story of it. Like, I might keep the story for another project, but yeah, that's the story behind that. I don't know, some of these projects I'd like to come back to, but ones that I'm definitely not going back to is like Rise of Phoenix Go and Rise of Phoenix Warzone. They're dead in the dirt now. They're not coming back. A non-Rise of Phoenix game which I worked on was called Dimension Hunter. Now, Dimension Hunter is actually out, but under the name Uncharted Dimensions. But originally, Dimension Hunter was a completely different game, and it sucks that I never got around to actually making it a reality. But it was a similar game to Rise of Phoenix, platformer, but he played as this guy who just hopped around to different dimensions, had to stop this great evil, blah blah blah. It turned into Uncharted Dimensions, which is just a weird game where you run forward for ages and you collect items. But Uncharted Dimensions did have some development woes, so it had like a year plus development time, which I could go into in another video. But basically, I was busy with Rise of Phoenix 2 and 3 at the time, and it just got in the way, like, constantly. It was rather annoying. And what other projects have I got, which I haven't really talking about? You have Rise of Phoenix 1.5 and Rise of Phoenix Versus. Now, these two games later became Rise of Phoenix Episode 2. Yeah. I was going through a bit of a phase where I didn't know what to call my games, and it was just a big mess. But other than that, I haven't really got that many other cancelled projects to really talk about. You had Rise of Phoenix 2/2, The Dark Master Rises. That was a game that was in development as well. It was supposed to be an extended version of Rise of Phoenix 2 with some new story elements. Then there was Rise of Phoenix 10 Days of Hope, which is still well, I wouldn't say it's cancelled. It's supposed to be telling the story of Flare from Rise of Phoenix 3, and I might find a way to incorporate it into Rise of Phoenix 4, which you'll have to wait and see. And then the final cancelled game is the most recent one, and that is Rise of Phoenix Episode 3, A Missing Link. Now, I don't really want to say it's fully cancelled, but at the moment it's not happening due to the fact that Stencil really screwed me over. It really screwed me over, so who knows? If you're interested or want to ask questions about any of these games, if you want me to do another video on them, then I'll do it. I can do each individual cancelled project and go right into depth, but I'll only do that if you guys let me know in the comments that you want me to do that. Thank you all for listening. Like, subscribe, favourite, all that good stuff, and I shall see you in the next video. Catch you all later.